Welcome back, Britizens. Today we're diving into Chapter 2. What is the UK? This chapter may be brief, but it covers crucial distinctions you'll need for your life in the UK test and for understanding daily life here. To get us started, can you explain why these distinctions matter, especially for newcomers?
Absolutely. Many new residents are surprised by the complexity of UK terminology. For example, mistaking Great Britain for United Kingdom can create confusion on forms or in conversation. Clarifying these terms early helps prevent misunderstandings and fosters a sense of belonging.
Right, and as we'll see, the UK structure is layered and historical. Before we unpack the specific terms, let's break down the countries that actually make up the UK.
That's a great point. Understanding the difference between countries, dependencies, and territories isn't just academic, it influences everything from voting rights to cultural celebrations.
The UK's official name is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, encompassing 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Could you elaborate on how these countries are unified yet distinct?
Certainly, each country has its own identity, flag, and, in some cases, languages. For instance, Wales promotes Welsh in schools, while Scotland emphasizes Scottish culture. Yet, they all share citizenship, central government, and foreign policy under the UK umbrella.
It's also important to note that the rest of Ireland is separate, operating as an independent nation. This distinction comes up frequently in citizenship exams and real-life conversations.
Exactly. Mistaking Northern Ireland for the Republic of Ireland can have diplomatic consequences and is a common error among newcomers.
Let's tackle some frequently confused terms: Great Britain, Britain, and the British Isles. How do these differ in usage and meaning?
Great Britain strictly refers to England, Scotland, and Wales, the largest island. Britain is often used informally for the UK, but technically it doesn't include Northern Ireland. The British Isles is a geographic term for all islands, including Ireland, but not everyone supports its use due to historical sensitivities.
That's a key nuance. For example, in sports, Team GB excludes Northern Ireland, while in politics, the UK includes it. Recognizing these subtleties helps avoid social faux pas.
Yes, and on tests, expect questions that play on these distinctions. Remember, geographic terms aren't always the same as political ones.
Beyond the 4 countries, the UK is closely linked to areas like the Channel Islands and the Isle of Man. They're crown dependencies, but not part of the UK itself. What exactly does that mean?
Crown dependencies are self-governing possessions of the Crown, not the UK Parliament. For example, Jersey and Guernsey have their own legal systems and tax rules. The UK handles their defense and international affairs, but otherwise they operate independently.
So, residents there aren't UK citizens by default, but they can travel freely within the UK, right?
Correct. They share many rights with UK nationals, but their relationship is a unique mix of autonomy and connection rooted in medieval history.
Let's shift to British overseas territories, like St. Helena and the Falkland Islands. How do they differ from crown dependencies in their status and governance?
Unlike crown dependencies, British overseas territories are under UK sovereignty, but not part of the UK. They're scattered worldwide, from the Caribbean to the South Atlantic. Each has its own constitution, but the UK oversees defense and foreign relations.
A practical example is the 2012 Falklands referendum, where residents voted overwhelmingly to remain a British territory, highlighting local self-determination.
Exactly. And while these territories use British passports, their citizens' rights in the UK can differ important for those moving between territories and the mainland.
Turning to governance, the UK Parliament sits at Westminster, but Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland have their own devolved parliaments or assemblies. How does this arrangement function in practice?
This is called devolution. Certain powers like education and health are managed locally, while critical areas like defense remain centralized. For instance, Scottish Parliament sets its own curriculum, while Westminster controls immigration policy.
It's like federal systems elsewhere, but the UK's approach is more asymmetric. Each country has different levels of autonomy.
Precisely. For example, Wales has fewer devolved powers than Scotland, and Northern Ireland's assembly has had periods of suspension, reflecting ongoing political complexities.
Let's spotlight the capital cities, London, Edinburgh, Cardiff, and Belfast. Beyond being administrative hubs, how do these cities shape national identity within the UK?
Each capital embodies its nation's culture. Edinburgh hosts the world's largest arts festival. Cardiff champions Welsh language, and Belfast is central to Northern Ireland's history. London, as the UK's capital, is a global, financial, and cultural magnet.
Understanding these capitals is vital for tests and travel, but also for appreciating regional pride and traditions.
Exactly. Whether attending Hogmanay in Edinburgh or St. David's Day in Cardiff, these cities are living symbols of their respective countries.
While English is the primary language, the UK is surprisingly multilingual. Can you explain the importance of Welsh, Scottish Gaelic, and Irish Gaelic in maintaining regional identity?
Certainly, Welsh is not only widely spoken in Wales, but is compulsory in schools. Scottish Gaelic survives mainly in the Highlands and Islands, while Irish Gaelic is spoken in Northern Ireland. These languages are symbols of history, resilience, and local pride protected by government policy.
It's fascinating how bilingual signage and media play a role in preserving these languages, offering a tangible sense of the UK's diversity.
Absolutely. For example, the BBC broadcasts in Welsh and Gaelic, ensuring these languages remain vibrant in modern society.
Let's talk about currency. Although the pound sterling pounds is standard, Scotland and Northern Ireland issue their own banknotes. How does this impact everyday transactions?
Scottish and Northern Irish notes are legal currency, but not technically legal tender in England, meaning shops can refuse them even, though most accept them. This can confuse visitors, but all notes are backed by the Bank of England.
That's a useful tip for new arrivals. Always check if your notes will be accepted, especially when traveling between regions.
Exactly. It's a quirk of the system that reflects the UK's layered identity, different designs, same value.
As we wrap up, let's consolidate the key takeaways from Chapter 2. What are the most essential points listeners should remember for the Life in the UK test and beyond?
First, know the 4 countries of the UK and their capitals. Distinguish between Great Britain, the UK, and the British Isles. Remember the unique statuses of Crown dependencies and overseas territories. Grasp the basics of devolved governance and the linguistic landscape.
Excellent summary. Mastering these distinctions not only helps you pass the test, but also enriches your daily interactions and understanding of British culture.
Absolutely. These details are the foundation for fully participating in UK life, whether you're reading the news, filling out forms, or joining in national celebrations.
Next time, we'll move from geography to history, exploring Chapter 3, a long and illustrious history. Why is it important to understand the UK's past when settling here?
History shapes laws, customs, and even everyday language. Knowing Britain's story from the Magna Carta to the modern monarchy helps you grasp why things are the way they are. It also deepens your sense of connection.
That's a perfect note to end on. Keep studying, Britisons, and join us for the next episode as we delve into the events that shaped modern Britain.
Looking forward to it. And remember, understanding the UK begins with knowing where and what it is.